Welcome to your TOEIC speaking class. This is the first of the series of videos that you're going to have in preparation for your TOEIC speaking test. TOEIC stands for Test of English for International Communication. The TOEIC test is an English proficiency test given to non-native speakers of English, and it measures the everyday English listening and reading skills of people who are in the international workplace. There are about 5,000 companies and institutions in over 60 countries that use TOEIC test assessment, and there are nearly 5 million test takers each year. Now, the TOEIC test has recently been redesigned. So there were some question types that were similar to the past format, but there are also some questions that have been replaced with authentic tasks that test a broader range of skills. And the score scale and the range of difficulty is still the same, so both are still comparable. The redesigned test provide useful information to test users and test takers, allowing them to make informed decisions in issues like job recruitment, placement, promotion, or further training. Now, the TOEIC speaking and writing test has been developed in response to the market demand for reliable assessment of productive English language skills. This TOEIC speaking and writing test complement the TOEIC listening and reading skills, or test for that matter. The TOEIC speaking and writing test has been designed to measure the test taker's ability to communicate clearly in written and spoken English, and the tasks are set in the general and workplace context. Let's talk about the TOEIC test preparations. English learners who are preparing to take TOEIC test, whether that is listening and reading test or the speaking and writing test, they do best when they are very familiar with the test format. So a thorough understanding of the test format and the test requirements makes the test taker focus on displaying his English skills or his or her English skills. Those who have been familiar with the test format and the test requirement, they can just focus on improving their overall language skills. Now, since this series of videos is in preparation for your TOEIC speaking test particularly, let's have an overview of the TOEIC speaking test. The TOEIC speaking test is designed to measure the test taker's ability to use spoken English in an international context. There are 11 tasks and it takes about 20 minutes to complete. The range of ability among the English learners who will take the TOEIC test is expected to be broad. That is, both very capable speakers and speakers with limited ability can take the test. Now, the test is designed to provide information about the language ability of test takers across a wide range of proficiency levels. And because of this, the tasks in the test are organized to support 3 claims. And these 3 claims are: first, the test taker can generate language intelligible to native and proficient non-native English speakers. Second is that the test taker can select appropriate language to carry out routine, social, and occupational interactions, such as giving and receiving directions, asking for and giving the information, asking for and giving clarification, making purchases, greetings and introduction, and more. And the third claim is that the test taker can create connected, sustained discourse appropriate in the typical workplace. Now, how does one improve the score on the TOEIC speaking test? There are some key strategies that you can use. The first one is familiarity with the test format. Although the directions are printed on each part of the test, it is always an advantage to know this beforehand because it will save you time and energy on the test day. The second one would be time management. The tasks in the TOEIC speaking test are timed. Therefore, if you're familiar or if you already know how much time you would spend on a certain problem, then you'd be able to set an appropriate pace for you to prepare and for you to produce your responses. And these are just two of the key test taking strategies that you can use to improve your overall performance. The skills that you would be needing, the first one would be phonological skills. Your pronunciation, intonation, and stress will be directly evaluated in the TOEIC speaking test. So developing these areas will help you improve in your performance, and it will make your speech more comprehensible in everyday conversation. The second one is grammar knowledge. So the speaking test will require you to speak longer sentences and produce paragraph length speech. So an understanding of the grammatical form, the meaning of the words and how the probably the parts of speech are used will definitely help you express yourself clearly. And maintaining a level of accuracy in the way you would speak would definitely help in improving your overall performance and will also help you easily communicate in everyday situations. The third one is knowledge of key vocabulary and useful phrases. Vocabulary, whether that is single word or phrases, is a key aspect in improving your scores in the TOEIC speaking test. So it is helpful to learn a selection of high frequency vocabulary and phrases that are appropriate to the task in the TOEIC speaking test. The next one is listening comprehension skills. Some tasks in the TOEIC speaking test require you to listen and respond appropriately. So good listening comprehension skills are definitely important. If you have good listening comprehension skills, then you can complete the task successfully. And the last one is understanding of organizational conventions. Some of the language tasks in the TOEIC speaking test, such as responding to a voicemail or giving an opinion, can be more easily completed if you're familiar with the standardized organizational pattern in English. And an understanding of the ways ideas are organized and of the words and phrases that are often used to join ideas together will also help you to be understood in English in everyday situations as well. Now let's have an overview of the TOEIC speaking test. Just like what I said earlier, it is composed of 11 tasks. So questions 1 and 2, your task is to read the text aloud, and you will be evaluated based on your pronunciation, intonation, and stress. Question number 3 is the task is to describe a picture. So in this test, you'll be given a picture and you're supposed to give as much detail as you can. You will be scored on your pronunciation, intonation, and stress, including grammar, vocabulary, and cohesion of your ideas. Questions 4 to 6, the task is to respond to questions. So the evaluation criteria would be pronunciation, intonation and stress, grammar, vocabulary cohesion, and including relevance of content and completeness of content. These evaluation criteria will be the ones also that will be used in scoring you for questions 7 to 9, in which the task is to respond to questions using information provided. In question 10, proposing a solution. And finally, in question 11, when you express an opinion. In each type of question, you will be given the direction and also the time that is allowed for you to have your preparation and the time for you to give your response. It is to your advantage to use or to tell as much detail as you can in the time allowed. So if you're given, let's say, 45 seconds to speak, and you use that 45 seconds to describe whatever you need to describe or tell whatever you need to say for example, an opinion, then it is good for you. It is an advantage for you. It is also very important that you speak clearly and that you answer each question according to the directions. So these are the tasks that you will be doing in the entire TOEIC speaking test, and we'll get familiar with them as we go on with the tutorial videos. Now let's have an overview of questions 1 and 2, and the task is read the text aloud. In questions 1 and 2, this would be the analytical scoring guidelines. For pronunciation, you will receive 3, and 3 means pronunciation is highly intelligible. The response may include minor lapses and or other language influence. 2, pronunciation is generally intelligible, though it includes some lapses and or other language influence. 1, pronunciation may be intelligible at times, but significant in other language influence interferes with appropriate delivery of the text. And 0, if there is no response or response is completely unconnected to the stimulus. Now remember, you will be scored based on pronunciation and intonation and stress. So for intonation and stress, the score of 3 means the speaker's use of emphasis, pauses, and rising and falling pitch is appropriate to the text. 2, speaker's use of emphasis, pauses, and rising and falling pitch is generally appropriate to the text, though the response includes some lapses and or moderate other language influence. 1, speaker's use of emphasis, pauses, and rising and falling pitch is not appropriate, and the response includes significant other language influence. And 0, if there is no response, or response is completely unconnected to the stimulus.
Read a text aloud.
In this part of the test, you will read aloud the text on the screen. You will have 45 seconds to prepare. Then you will have 45 seconds to read the text aloud. Begin preparing now. Begin reading aloud now.
Right, take note that you will be given 45 seconds to prepare and 45 seconds to read the text aloud. Now we're going to listen to one sample answer, and this is the paragraph that will be read.
Question 1, Speaker 1.
Few spots in the city are as beloved as City Park. Over 10 million visitors play, relax, or enjoy outings with their friends and families in the park every year. Each spring and summer, the park offers a wide variety of activities. This weekend, there will be an outdoor jazz concert, a nature program, and special events for children. Most visitors explore the park on foot, although it can also be explored by bike or on horseback. Maps and information on park activities are available at the Visitor Center, which is open daily from 9 to 5 o'clock.
This speaker was given a score of 3, which means the speaker's pronunciation is always intelligible. The speaker delivers the passage fluently. She was also scored 3 for intonation and stress, meaning the speaker's use of emphasis, pauses, and rising and falling pitch is appropriate to the text. Let's listen to another sample answer.
Question 1, Speaker 2.
Few spots in the city are as beloved as City Park. Over 10 million visitors play, relax, or enjoy outings with their friends and families in the park every year. Each spring and summer, the park offers a wide variety of activities. This weekend, there will be an outdoor jazz concert, a nature program, and special events for children. Most visitors explore the park on foot, although it can also be explored by bike or on horseback. Maps and information on park activities are available at the Visitor Center, which is open daily from 9 to 5 o'clock.
This speaker was scored 2 for pronunciation. Pronunciation is generally intelligible with some lapses, such as with words park and visitors. For intonation and stress, he was given a score of 3. The speaker's intonation and stress are appropriate to the text.
Question 1, Speaker 3.
Few spots in the city are as beloved as City Park. Over 10 million visitors play, relax, and enjoy outside, outside, outsing with the friends and family is part every year. Each spring and summer, the park has a wide variety of activities. This weekend, there will be an outdoor dance concert, a nature program, and a special event for children. Most visitors explore the park on foot, although it can also be explored by bike or on horseback. Maps and information on park activities are available at the visitor center, which is open daily from 9 to 5 o'clock.
This speaker was given a score of 1 for pronunciation. It means that the speaker's pronunciation is often unintelligible. For intonation and stress, she got 2. The speaker's use of emphases, pauses, and rising and falling pitch is generally appropriate. The response includes other language influence. Now, for questions 1 and 2, in each of these questions, you will be given a paragraph of 40 to 60 words to read aloud. You're going to have 45 seconds to prepare. You'll have 45 seconds to read the text aloud, and you will be scored on your pronunciation and the intonation and stress of your sentences. Now for part A, you will hear a native speaker read the paragraph below. Listen carefully to how the words in bold are pronounced.
I'd like to ask employees to see that all personal items are removed from the floor when you finish work and leave the office tonight. During the weekend, the air conditioning will be serviced, and the carpets, the windows, and the chairs in the lounge will be cleaned. Please make sure the lights are turned off and all windows are closed. Thank you for your cooperation.
Now in this paragraph, there might be some words that you find difficult to say. The tip is that you have to practice the sounds you find difficult in English. In the test, you will be asked to read aloud a paragraph similar to this one, and there will be some sounds within words that you may find difficult to say. So it is a good idea to know what these are and to practice them. For part B, if you're my student, then you can go to your Google Classroom and find the file for this exercise. Now, if not, you can click the Google link below in the description. Listen to this recording, continue listening, and answer the exercise. You're going to listen to one of the words in each pair in numbers 1 to 9 being read aloud. You're going to mark the one you hear in each pair.
Unit 1, Language Building. B. 1,
See,
2,
walk,
3,
fill,
4,
leave,
5,
air,
6,
chairs,
7,
lights,
8,
bat,
9,
think,
Now, when you're done, we can move on to part C. We're going to listen again to some parts of the paragraph in part A, and the words in bold include sounds that some learners may have problems with. So you have to listen carefully and repeat.
Unit 1, Language Building. C. 1,
I'd like to ask employees to see that all personal items
2,
are removed from the floor when you finish work and leave the office tonight.
3,
During the weekend, the air conditioning will be serviced,
4,
and the carpets, the windows, and the chairs in the lounge will be cleaned.
5,
Please make sure the lights are turned off.
6,
And all windows are closed.
7,
Thank you for your cooperation.
If there are still some words that you think you find difficult to say, then you can say part C again, then listen and repeat. If not, then let's move on to part B. In part B, you're going to listen to the words in numbers 1 to 15. You repeat them so you can practice and also count the number of syllables.
Unit 1, Language Building. D. 1 syllable. 1,
Asked.
2,
Steak.
3,
Cheap.
4,
Clothes.
5,
Make.
2 syllables. 6,
Money.
7,
Chicken.
8, orange. 9,
Jacket.
10,
Wanted.
3 syllables. 11,
Employees.
12,
Personal.
13,
Manager.
14,
Telephone.
15,
Completed.
For this part, you have to be aware of influences from your own language. Some people add extra sound to words because of how words are written in English or because of the sounds that exist in their own languages. So when you come across new words, learn the meaning and learn how to pronounce them and learn how many syllables they have. Moving on to part E. In part E, in words of 2 or more syllables, one of the sounds is stronger than the others. Now listen again to words in numbers 6 to 15 and mark which of the syllables is emphasized in some ways.
Unit 1, Language Building. E. 2 syllables. 6,
Money.
7,
Chicken.
8,
Orange.
9,
Jacket.
10,
Wanted.
3 syllables. 11,
Employees.
12,
Personal.
13,
Manager.
14,
Telephone.
15,
Completed.
Again, you have to be aware of which syllable to stress. In words of 2 or more syllables, one syllable will be stressed more than the others. Stressing the wrong syllable of a word is very likely to cause problems or of misunderstanding. So, learn where common words and types of words are usually stressed. Part F. Now listen and repeat the words in 1 to 5. Each one will be read aloud 3 times.
Unit 1, Language Building. F. 1,
Cooperation. Cooperation. Cooperation.
2,
Disappointed. Disappointed. Disappointed.
3,
Inconvenience. Inconvenience. Inconvenience.
4,
Profitability. Profitability. Profitability.
5,
Unfortunately. Unfortunately. Unfortunately.
Okay. These 5 words can be considered as long words. So you have to practice pronouncing longer words. In questions 1 and 2, there may be 1 or 2 longer words with 4 or 5 syllables to read aloud. You have to practice saying these and learn which syllable is stronger than the other ones and how the syllables run together. Just like for the first word, you have cooperation. So the stress or the syllable that you have to pronounce stronger would be the fourth one. Disappointed, inconvenience, profitability, unfortunately. Again, practice pronouncing longer words. For part G, you have to listen to the words in F being read in the context of sentences. You have to repeat each sentence after you have heard it.
Unit 1, Language Building, G. 1.
The main aim of this meeting is to improve the cooperation between us.
2,
I am very disappointed in their decision to close the department.
3,
We would like to apologize for any inconvenience caused.
4,
At this point in time, the company's main concern is its profitability.
5,
Unfortunately, this service will be canceled until further notice.
For this part, the test tip is that word stress can vary depending on accent. In some cases, the stress in a word pronounced in American English will be different than that in Canadian, British, or Australian English. In the TOEIC speaking test, any form of English is acceptable as long as you are consistent. Let's move on to part H. Read sentences 1 to 10 and decide what parts of speech the words in bold are. But we're going to listen to it first.
Unit 1, Language Building, H. Follow-up. 1,
I can't find any record of your order.
2,
I have to record your name and number before you can enter.
3,
Mr. Basenji exports carpets to Europe.
4,
Exports of car parts have decreased recently.
5,
I wanted to get a refund on the broken gift.
6,
The store refused to refund the money.
7,
At the end of the year, we present achievement awards.
8,
It was so very thoughtful of you to buy a present.
9,
Metals expand and contract when the temperature changes.
10,
Congratulations! I just heard they've renewed your contract.
Remember that a word can sometimes be different parts of speech. Some words can act like a noun or a verb without changing form. When they are used as a different part of speech, the stress placement will sometimes be different. So in these examples, just like in numbers 1 and 2, you have this word, record and record. In these words, the noun is stressed on the first syllable and the verb is stressed on the second syllable. So I can't find any record of your order. I have to record your name and number before you can enter. Record is noun, the stress is on the first syllable, and record is used as a verb, so the stress is on the second syllable. Amazing! This is the last part of our first video. Don't forget the test tips that you learned today. First, practice the sounds you find difficult in English. Second, be aware of influences from your own language. Third, be aware of which syllable to stress. Fourth, Practice pronouncing longer words. Next, word stress can vary depending on accent. And finally, a word can sometimes be different parts of speech. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.